Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it is our Lions pregame against Tampa this week. We're actually able to do it on a Saturday, so everything will be up to date with this video. First off, injury report. Tampa Bay is actually pretty healthy this week. They only got two injuries, Shaquille Barrett and Levante Davis, both linebackers for them, so their linebackers are going to be a little light. But everybody else is doing good for Tampa.
And their main guy, I guess, on defense, Vita Vea, their nose tackle, who is like their best run stopper, is pretty healthy. So he'll be in the lineup. This is the best team that they faced in the last three games, wouldn't you say? They're better than the Falcons. They're better than the Packers. Certainly. Much better than Carolina. Baker Mayfield seemed to have revitalized his career with these guys. He's not really playing that bad. He's playing solid. He's not a world beater. He's not a Pro Bowler, but he's playing good enough for them not to lose games right now. And I think Lions fans, are you guys getting the feeling that a lot of Lions fans are already jumping the gun about this team? That this is an automatic win. They're gonna go in there and dominate, and it's good to feel that way, but. You got to be realistic. You could lose every week. You just can't assume that you're going to go in there and just steamroll an opponent every week. So to try to overlook these guys. I mean, I have friends that are already looking to the Baltimore game. It's like, guess what? You can't do that. This is an important game. They could be 5-1 after this year, after this game, going into Baltimore. So yeah. Don't take these guys lightly.
No, I don't think they will either. I mean, if you look at Tampa Bay, they're kind of set up for us. They have a really good defensive line that rushes passes really well. They're not as good at stopping the run, but our line's a little beat up this week. So I think Goff's going to be under some pressure. So I'm sure Ben Johnson's going to develop some kind of game plan to take that off of Goff, to take some of the pressure off. We're going to probably run a little bit more, even though, again, we're without Gibbs.
Yes.
And we're without Bam Knight. He went out for the year.
Yes, he did.
I mean, I don't know if Gibbs is that much of a loss right now. I mean, he's still learning. He's still getting used to the pro game. But you got Reynolds and you got Montgomery back there.
You got a lot of guys that are injured this week. Branch is out. You also have Gibbs out, Jonah Jackson's out, Bam Knight's out, James Mitchell's out, Mosley, of course, out. He tore his other ACL last game. He's out for the year. And Pascal is out. Everyone else should be good. Even Laporta, even though he's marked as questionable and had limited practice on Friday, he's expected to play. St. Brown's expected to play. Ragnall's expected to play.
Right. I think this is a game where you're going to lean on the defense a little bit more. Yeah. Our offense hopefully will put up, I'm hoping in the 20s somewhere in the point range. But our defense, I think this is a game they have to step up and kind of keep Tampa Bay in check. Tampa Bay doesn't run the ball real well, but they have some really good receivers. And like you said, I think with Baker Mayfield, it's just, you got to find the system that works, to find what he does well. The same thing we do with Goff. Yeah. Goff would not fit on a lot of teams. But on our team, we've set up a system that really benefits his style of play, and they seem to have done that in Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield as far as toughness. He's going to scramble. He's not a scrambler like, Patrick Mahomes, but he gets those yards, and he extends series. He gets to the sticks. And I expect him to be a problem for us in that regard for most of the game.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield so far this year, 87 for 125, 882 passing yards, 7 TDs, 2 interceptions.
Not bad numbers.
Mike Evans is their top receiver, as we all know. He has 20 receptions so far this year for 337 yards, 3 TDs. He is somewhat hurt. He is going to play. He's coming off his injuries. So he might not be 100% in the game, but he will be playing.
We'll see how good Will Harris and Lucas and all them guys play back there without our starting guys. I mean,
right? Are you guys excited? They're going to be wearing the creamsicles with the kind of
where they're throwing.
Oh, those are the old classic ones. I love that. Back when they won, they played. They wore those uniforms back when they were winning. One game a season.
Yeah, the John McKay years.
Yeah, the Vinny Testaverde years.
Those are awesome. I love those things.
Yeah, that's funny.
So Goff already is over 1,000 yards this year too, so he's been playing pretty good as well. I expect Goff to still have a good game. He's 111 for 159, 1,265 yards so far, 9 TDs, 3 interceptions.
Yep, you got to keep him protected.
So he's doing good.
He goes down. Our season might as well be done. You can have confidence in Bridgewater, but we want him as back.
I think Bridgewater. If you're talking about going down for the year, yeah, I think Teddy Bridgewater. Especially once we get past Baltimore, Teddy Bridgewater could beat any of the teams in our division.
It's just
he certainly can beat Chicago. He certainly can beat Green Bay.
You better protect him, though.
Well, I mean, they're protecting Goff. They have to protect Goff. I'm not really.
Sacks.
That might, like I said, as long as Goff is fine, then we don't have nothing to worry about. But I certainly think Teddy Bridgewater is capable of beating most of the teams on our schedule.
Yeah, and the rushing wise, David Montgomery, as we already know, is our top rusher. 88 carries so far this year, 371 yards total, 6 touchdowns. One question I'll throw out for Montgomery: do you think he'll beat the record that Jamal broke last year?
Looks like it. He's certainly on the way to it. That's right. He's got to get his carries.
He's already at 6 TDs through first 5 games.
Jamal's.
He's 6 TDs in 5 games. So he's a little bit ahead.
Well, I couldn't tell you what Jamal was at this point last year.
So, I mean, he is ahead of a TD a game, so that would put him past Jamal.
Yes.
I think he has to certainly, if we get down close and we feed him, I think that might even be a point to show people exactly that the running back isn't the big deal. It's the offensive line. Montgomery certainly is filled. I'm not saying he isn't important, but he isn't, like I said, Jamal, same thing. They're running behind a really good offensive line that's giving them a lot of opportunities.
You know what I want to see tomorrow, honestly? And you guys can agree, disagree. I'd like to see J-Mo get more targets.
Well, they're easing him into it. They're not rushing him. They're not going to throw 20 passes to him one game. They're going to give him limiting his snaps.
They threw how many did he get last time?
Like 5,
3, 4, 5,
maybe at most.
And how many drops?
You dropped two or 3 of them out of the 5.
You've heard so much about him. You maybe filter through what is true and what isn't true. I've heard so many different opposing things, that Goff likes him, that Goff doesn't like him, that they don't connect, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
and it's, just catch the ball, just throw it to him. And as long as we're winning, these guys have time to get back in sync.
Yeah.
We don't have to rush the Jack Campbells or the Gibbs as long as we're winning. We can give them this entire year as long as we're winning.
And also, the other guy that I was talking to Harold before we were doing this show is, I might not see him tomorrow. I really would like to see Broderick Martin.
Well, I mean, why would you want to see him if he's
not ready? If he's not ready, he's not ready. But we kept hearing what a steal this in the draft this guy could be, and maybe he's not where they want him to be right now.
No, well, right.
Maybe he's not.
And you got to understand too, he practices against a very good our offensive line, so they know that this guy can't. He isn't going. If he doesn't get there in practice, he isn't going to get there in the game.
Yeah, and Bugs and Benito Jones seem to be doing pretty halfway.
Fine.
Lee McNeil,
yeah.
Those 3 in the middle. That's a pretty.
Lee
good
McNeil doesn't get a lot of recognition, does he?
No,
you don't hear a lot of talk about him. But he's just a guy that quietly goes about and does his job.
Right.
But so the Lions are favored in the game, 55% chance to win. I believe they are favored by 3 the last time I checked. I do think they'll end up winning it, but it'll be a closer game. I think it might be like 24-14, something like that. Maybe a couple score difference.
Of course, I'm going to pick my home team. I'm not going to go against the Lions. But it'll be close. I think Baker Mayfield will have a decent day. I'll say 28-24.
I'm kind of like right with you guys. Actually, we're almost the same, except for I gave them each a field goal that you did. And I was going to say 27-17.
Yeah.
Something like that.
As long as Dan Campbell doesn't make any stupid coaching decisions late in the game that could cost us,
And that's it'll come down to both coaches.
Well, I heard that
haven't been the best.
I did hear that he told John Fox not to travel with the team because they're not going to
punt. It's 4th and 21, guys. This is what we're going to do. Draw play.
Riley Patterson
on our own 20.
But this will be a good game. Both teams have only lost 1 game. Tampa kind of surprising people this year, being as good as they have been. Currently in the power rankings, they are also in the top 10. I believe we are in the top 5 of most power rankings
and
now.
We should be.
So it is going to be an exciting game. It is moved later to 4:25, so more prime time. I believe they probably will be wearing all white this week because they've been doing solid colors and they've been winning when they wear the solid colors. When they wore the blue and silver, they lost.
It all depends. So, they might be wearing their darker jerseys if Tampa Bay decides to wear their white creamsicle ones.
It's orange.
Are they going all orange? That'll be even cooler.
They're going orange.
I didn't know. Oh, they are. All right. I'm looking forward.
We should buy some push-ups for tomorrow's games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll look cool.
But it should be a good game later in the day. Probably is America's Game of the Week. I haven't actually checked to see if that was it yet. But hopefully the Lions will pull it out, go into Baltimore, only 1 loss, and then they can make a good run the rest of the season. With that being said, though,
let's keep going.
If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Share the video. Until next time, hope to see everybody.
Go Lions!